Today, Debbie wants me to teach you like the choreography for the dance, for the Debi painting extravaganza.
Really?
Yeah, I have like the dance moves. I have some of the choreography down. So,
All right. Well,
do you
let's do
know
it.
what twerking is?
We are not twerking.
No, we're not twerking, but I just wanted to know if you knew what it was.
I do. I refuse to twerk.
Well, she wants to do a little tap dancing in it too. Have you ever tap danced?
I
Shuffle, ball change, shuffle, ball change, shuffle, ball change,
Okay.
step. Okay, now these, they're called wings, and you're gonna have to
Okay.
do like the shuffle, ball, step together with your
Oh, jeez.
feet
I
and
would-
your arms,
I
and
would-
your arms are gonna go. Whew, whew.
I should probably step back
So
then.
I'll be in the front, you be in the back. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I can't do
with
it in
both
the
feet?
gravel. Yeah, both feet
Oh,
at the
my
same time.
goodness. I'm gonna break my back.
All right. Well, what if we do just a little salsa kind of dancing right now, and we'll be like,
You guys, what are you doing? We're supposed to be going live at 10:30.
she was
You
told
told me
me
the choreography.
the choreography was the most important thing on the list today.
What time is it?
10:30. You guys are live.
Oh my God! Look, we're
Oh
live.
my gosh.
We're live. You guys are
I was
dancing.
doing that live.
Seriously?
Like other people were watching me right now.
I think so. I think a few. How many people were actually
How
watching that?
embarrassing!
I'm
I just
so
tried to do
embarrassed.
that whole step, and I like sunk in the gravel.
Oh my gosh! You guys, we are so excited. This is episode 3. Episode 3 of Flea Market Flip. This is the place that you come every Friday morning to watch us flip stuff. We have been listening to your comments. I don't mean to be pointing the stick at you, but there's a reason for having this stick. We've been reading all of your comments, and we are going to do things a little bit differently this morning because a lot of you have said you want to see us actually flip the stuff, right?
I did
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that.
Like
And
this.
also, we have so much stuff that we haven't flipped yet, we need to get caught up. So we have some new items to show you. But today, Melissa and Stephanie, we are gonna flip as much stuff as we can flip in an hour. We're gonna do it live. We're gonna answer your questions as we're doing it. You can give us ideas. Maybe we'll change it up if you have an idea that's better than ours. So if, like, say, Melissa is painting the rocking chair red and someone chimes in and says, I think maybe you should add bohemian blue, you could maybe
I'm
take
gonna
that
say that
suggestion.
is not right in any way or situation.
So
Yes.
we
Also, if you want to buy stuff, you need to have your shipping company. So you ship or whatever. If you're not close to us, you totally can have it. You just have to message us.
We got a comment from the people. We have a new thing too. This is our talking stick because we got several comments that you guys don't like it when we talk over each other. It's really hard to do that when you have 3 people. We're all excited. So now nobody's allowed to talk unless they have the talking stick. And my sister is waving me down because we have a question?
have a 14-year-old that's on board with us this morning. Abrian does life, and I just think that's great. She says, I love redoing furniture.
Adrian. So we have a 14-year-old DIYer.
Yay.
Is that our youngest DIY? Hi, Adrian. Her name's Abrian.
Abrian
Hi,
does life.
Adrian. Woo! That's exciting. I love that. So maybe you can give us some tips, Adrian.
Okay, Amy Previtt says, point that stick.
Point the stick. We're fired up. Are you guys fired up?
Fired up.
Okay.
Fired up.
So Melissa, what are you working on this morning?
I'm working on a rocking chair, and it's going to be marquee red.
Where is it?
Well, I need this talking stick. So it's marquee red, and it is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing for anybody's front porch, or it's going to be awesome to like put next to your Christmas tree with a nice fluffy blanket draped over the edge, and it's going to have a little pillow, maybe some kind of Santa thing or Christmas tree. Oh my gosh, it would just be perfect. Your family Christmas pictures would be amazing to have this there.
So we bought this, what, last week? Who bought
Yeah,
it?
we bought it.
You guys bought
$15.
$15. So, and how much are we aiming to sell it for?
You can't talk unless you have the stick.
I'm the boss.
90.
We're aiming
How
to
much?
sell it for $90.
$90. Okay.
$90.
Okay, so this is what Melissa is gonna work on this morning. Stephanie, what are you gonna do?
I am going to work on this chair that I found on the side of the road. It's a beast.
Oh my gosh.
And I actually like the chair, but I hate the fabric. I hate this houndstooth. Well, I don't even hate houndstooth, but I just hate it on this. And the color red and black that it is, it's not my favorite. So I am going to paint fabric.
You can paint fabric?
Yes, I learned that from you.
Oh my gosh! Like,
So I've never done it. So that's why I have the infamous Debi Beard here with me to help me paint. Well, she's not maybe gonna help me, but she's gonna guide me through the process.
okay, well, won't it get all crunchy if you paint it?
So according to Debi, it will not get crunchy, and we're gonna test that out today.
Okay, so what if I'm wearing a white bikini and I sit down with a wet bottom on the chair? Is it gonna rub off on my bikini?
It won't, because we're gonna seal it. And you know why I know this for a fact? Because I've actually been to Debi's house, and she has a beautiful couch that's velvet, and it used to be like this mustardy yellow color, and now it's this beautiful turquoise. And I sat on it in white pants. They weren't wet, but I did not get any color on my pants.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow. Okay, I can't believe it. If you can pull this off, I will be amazed, because everybody doesn't believe that you can paint fabric.
Well, we're gonna show you today that it's possible.
Vintage Sin says she's never seen fabric painted.
Vintage Sin, you are in for a treat. We are gonna paint this. It's not gonna be crunchy. It's not gonna rub off on your clothes. It's gonna maintain the soft fabric texture that it is, and it will look totally different. It's not gonna look like this weird 70s situation.
Right.
So get ready. Okay, so my project is this thing. Can people see this?
Oh,
You guys
no.
remember
We need
this?
to help you take it down.
Yeah. This is from the very first episode of Flea Market Friday. And we found out some information about it. So this thing right here. Can you guys see that? Do you remember this? We found this in the very first episode. What did you pay, Steph?
$40.
$40. So then we went online and we discovered that it originally was $305.
Something to that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have the link. I'll post it in the community tab. So it's a little bit jacked up. It's a little stained and dirty. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a redo, and I am aiming to sell it for at least $200 because it was originally $300, and I think I can make it even better than how it looked. So that's what I'm gonna be working on.
Do you want to put it back up, or do you
Yeah,
want?
let's put it back up. Okay. So, what else do we have to show? Oh, we have some things that we finished already.
So you saw the frame that we were flipping around, Melissa, this morning. That used to be just wood color, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we painted it black and
did it?
distressed.
Melissa, you did it? You want
Mhm.
to tell them what you did? Here, I'll give you the stick.
As long as I get the stick.
Okay, so it was wood. You can see the nice patina it has. You can see the wood coming through. So all I did was clean it, and then I chose Little Black Dress. It's my favorite black color by DIY. I painted it. I put 2 coats on it, and then let it dry, and took a wet cloth and just rubbed back the black paint. That's all it takes with this, just a wet cloth. So I just highlighted all of the ornamental stuff, and then I did the sides, and this one I actually painted with shellac because I love how the shellac like deepens and highlights all of the wood, and it brings it back to like that shiny color.
Love it. Let's show you another finished piece. Melissa, you did this one as well.
What?
Yay, we got it! We got a super chat.
We got a super chat from
Monica R. You ladies brighten up Friday mornings. She gave you a $9.99 super chat.
Wow.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you,
Wow.
Monica. We appreciate that. We can go buy lunch with that today.
Claire's before 2:30.
So this also was painted by Melissa, and she did the same process, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna let her explain it.
I did the same process with this. It doesn't have as much little ornament on the sides, but it does have some routed edges. And then this nice screen that's in here, I just brushed over it with the black. That's way too distracting. That is so like putting a very fancy sign on a gate that is ornamental with a bunch of mermaids swimming around on it. I have a talking stick. Okay, so then I just took some little clothespins right here and I actually stuck them right inside. What is it with you and my hair? The dark and decrepit, and stained them. I didn't do anything else to them. I didn't seal it or anything because this dark and decrepit is really nice and it's a sealer in its own self. So you can clip little memos, pictures,
Look, I
or
love this
whatever's,
idea.
or the
You could put your
or the stuff your boss wants you to do every day.
jewelry. You hang your
Totally
earrings.
jewelry.
Okay,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Woo.
you guys remember this from last week? It was just a mirror with a little shelf, and Stephanie did something to it. Are you gonna flip it around and tell them what you did?
Sure.
Okay. You wanna take the? I'll hold the stick until you're ready.
All right. So we've made this into a little, like a bathroom vanity thing. So like,
I just want to know why you're not dancing behind Stephanie.
so you could have like your toothbrush and toothpaste. Don't worry, not my toothbrush, just a sample.
You used my toothbrush again? I told you to stop doing that.
I have some, what are these? Q-tips. Or maybe you want to put your makeup brushes, or maybe you want to put like flowers if you don't want it in your bathroom, but
You did say this was new, right?
it is new. So yeah, that's what I did with this. I'm gonna also paint it. Maybe not today, but, or actually today, but maybe not on this live. I don't know. We'll see how far I get with the chair.
This was a no spitting
It's super
zone.
cool. I love it, Stephanie. Okay,
Jamie Ray says it's about time you brushed Debbie.
Thank you, Jamie. I know. I had a keto bar and I really needed to brush my teeth. No, my breath. That's
That does
good.
smell minty.
It's good toothpaste. I really hope
Oh, you
that
put
was.
toothpaste on it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's weird.
I
That
really
keto
hope that
bar
was a
was-
new toothpaste.
No, it
You
was.
didn't
nice
use
and
it to, like, clean your
experimenty.
I
brow.
promise it was brand spanking new. Anyhow, so yeah, what are we
Okay.
doing now?
Let's show them a few things that we're going to work on
Question.
throughout the week.
Question.
Diamonds Are Forever is asking what happened to the little window with the fake flowers. Really interested to see what you did with that.
Oh,
because
Melissa, you did start that. You
the
want to show
ugly,
it?
the ugly
Okay.
project.
Yes, you guys remember Melissa's really, like, I challenged them to find something so ugly that you wouldn't think that it could be good again.
Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. I ripped all of the ugliness off it. Total not ugly any longer. And I used
They can't see you.
Farm Fresh
There you go.
and some mermaid tail. And it hasn't been sealed yet, hasn't been distressed. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. But I would like to make a little sign that like hangs in the window and plant the bottom with succulents.
What's
And
the
the-
sign gonna say?
It's gonna say, don't talk without the talking stick.
I've got it right here. It
So-
could say something like, something to do with succulents.
Yeah, sucker.
Don't be a sucker. Use
Love
succulents.
it.
I don't know. If you guys have any ideas for the sign that will go with the succulents, put them in the comments because Melissa needs an idea for that. All right. Okay, this thing, I have a little story about this. This is something that's been at my shop for almost 10 years. A vendor left it behind. It's an old headboard with a shelf on it, and for some reason it just never sold. So finally we took it down and we put it back in our graveyard area. And then we went to the dump. We had a big dump haul because we needed to get rid of, like, do you ever have things where you're just like, I need this out of my life? So Melissa's husband, Steve, came and we had to put all the stuff in a pile to go to the dump. I put this in there and Melissa pulled it out. And she's like, no, we need to redo this. I'm like, Melissa, it's been here for 8 years. What makes you think we can sell this thing? Like, what is
I think that it's going to be pretty awesome if we use some IOD clay molds and we stick them on the top and we make it look all pretty and everything, and we paint it a different color. You know, this color doesn't just sell so well, even though it is blue and it's a little beachy. We just want to put our own paint on it now and liven it up. Maybe liven that chain up a little too.
Oh yeah, it's got like
Maybe the chain just has to go away and it just has to hang,
like
you know,
some
by
nautical
little
rope
hangers on the side. No, I think we should just put some little hangers right here so they're totally hidden. I mean, isn't this cute?
Okay,
It would be cute.
so I'm giving this until, what's the next holiday? Is it Labor Day or Memorial Day? I get them confused.
Labor Day.
I'm giving this until Labor Day. We're gonna fix it up. If it hasn't sold by Labor Day, then we're gonna donate it to the thrift store. But let us know, how do you think we can make this sell? Because it hasn't sold in 8 years, and I don't know why. I think it's cute, but
It's very cute.
if you have ever had something that you just can't sell and you finally made it sell, we want to hear your tips, because this thing, I don't know what's wrong
And
with it.
it didn't have a price tag on it either. Maybe people were thinking that it was
The-
just a thing for our shelves.
The price tag was
shelf
on
for our
here for so
plants.
long that it disintegrated and fell off, probably.
Question.
Barbara Gray said the headboard could get a few cup hooks on the top and a place at the bottom for coffee, tea, sugar, and teaspoons.
Oh, I love
Super
that.
cute.
Yes. Very cute idea.
Super cute idea.
Okay, let's take that one into consideration. All right, do we have anything else to talk about?
We finished the secretary. We want to show that.
Oh, yeah.
And then we should probably get to work, right?
Yeah, we should. You hurt your back. What did you do?
Okay, leave it there for a second. I gotta jump down. I don't want you to hold all the weight. I might actually have to lift this up. Well, here's the top.
We put rulers on the top. Do you remember the mid-century modern piece with the big gouge on the top and the cracked shelf? We got that in episode 1. How much did we pay? I paid $20.
20 bucks, yes.
And so this is going to be around $200. It's totally beautiful now. We painted it with black, little black dress. We put, who did it? Julie did it, right?
Julie painted it.
Yep.
Melissa and I put the rulers on, and I'm
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And we decided to leave the inside, just the wood, so you open it and it sort of flows with the rulers on the front and the bottom.
And if you want to
Shelf.
see how we actually did this, we have it on our Facebook page. We went live there and you guys cut up the rulers.
That's
Remember
true.
that day?
Yep,
And Bobby was even in that one.
that's true.
Okay.
Bobby's water bottle.
Okay, so I think now it's time to get started. Like, what time is it, Danielle?
10:50.
10:50 already?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, so we're going to go until 11 o'clock. We are, what? That's only 10 minutes.
I know.
You said an
That's
hour,
it.
so that
Oh,
would be 11:30.
11:30. We're going to paint as much as we can till 11:30. You guys can ask us questions. We're going to be talking about our
You can
our
comment and tell
strategy.
us how to paint certain
Yeah.
things.
So I'm going to get started on this.
Let's bring that back down.
And I think I can
You wanna
paint
do it up
from
there?
Yeah, and Melissa's going to work on her rocking chair. And Stephanie, you're gonna start this. So go ahead and get started, and I'll tell you.
All right,
What you
so
need to
what's
do.
the first step, Debbie?
So the very first thing when you are painting fabric, if you haven't seen the video where I painted my sofa, it's my most watched video. It has well over 1 million views. Go check it out. I'll put it in the link below later today, but I found a sofa at the thrift store for $20. It was velvet. I wanted to keep the velvet softness to it, but I wanted it to be bohemian blue. So you can see me do that, the before and after in that video. But the one thing you want to keep in mind when you're painting fabric is that you're dyeing the fabric. You're not painting the fabric.
Gotcha.
So you need to use a lot of water.
Okay.
This is red, so we're gonna go with a dark color because it would be really hard to put a light color over dark fabric because it's gonna be so watered down. So you wanna think about if the paint sits on the surface of the fabric and doesn't become one with the fabric and sink in, then it's going to be crunchy. It's going to crack. It's not truly dyeing the fabric. So
That makes complete sense.
So you need to really, like what I do is I work in a section. So I would maybe take this piece right here. You're going to spray it down and get it super wet.
Okay.
And then you're going to water down the paint. And you're going to work the paint into the fibers of the fabric.
I
And
gotcha.
you want to
Okay.
use that sanding sponge
Right.
to kind of work it in there. And it's probably going to take like
A few coats.
6 or 7 coats.
Okay.
So you put on a light, the first coat's not going to even look like it did much.
Okay.
And then you're going to let that dry. And then you're going to go back and put on another coat. And it's a very slow, tedious process, but you can dye the fabric.
So what that means, super chat! Woo!
Super chat! Woo! Who is it?
Elizabeth Anderson, $5 super chat.
Thank
Thank you, Elizabeth. Melissa, they can't see you painting over there. You got to bring it right here so they can watch.
on the rug. Might get messy.
It's all right. This is the painting area.
So Debbie mentioned that she painted her entire couch with 1 quart of paint, and I'm gonna try to get this chair done with 1 8-ounce jar of paint that we have here.
Yeah, because it only took a quart. Like if you end up using a whole bunch of paint to try and paint your upholstered fabric, you know you're doing it wrong because it only took a quart to paint my 8-foot sofa. The key is watering it down and being really patient. All right, I'm gonna work on that back there, and
I'm gonna go grab another water bottle.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times I'll end up with a tiny little bit of paint in this color and these colors. So I have Mermaid Tail, Old 57, and Bohemian Blue. I'm just gonna dip my brush in all 3 colors and just blend it on there and have like a harmony of 3 blues on the locker baskets back there. So that's what I'm gonna start off by doing. Melissa, why don't you talk about what you're doing here? What are you doing?
I just grabbed a red, one of our reds, Carnival Red, and it already pretty much is covered in 1 coat, but you can see there's little places that you can still see the wood coming through. This paint is so pigmented that sometimes you can get away with 1 coat, even with our whites, depending on what is underneath it. So now I'm just gonna go over, I'm gonna wet the paint a little with a spray bottle. It kind of reactivates it, makes it accept another layer of paint really easily so they meld together instead of riding on top of each other. And that's just what I'm gonna do here, the spray bottle. I'm just gonna give it a little spritz.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw, but when you have like I have like a 1/4 inch left of all these colors right here. So what I like to do, especially if I'm blending, is I take my mister bottle and I just spray it right into the bottom of the jar. And this helps the paint kind of move, especially if it's started to get thick. And that's what I did. I just sprayed all these containers, and I am just going to start blending and painting. And I'm not going to take these out. I'm just going to paint right across the surface, and then I'll distress back in between.
So there's a comment from Lisa Stevens regarding that window and the succulents. She has a cute little saying for the sign.
Okay.
well, she has two. One is peace, love, and succulence, and then the other one is I hope your day doesn't suck.
I love that. That's a
Both
great
of
one.
them, they're great.
I hope your day doesn't suck. That's my vote.
Yeah.
I love that. SUCC. Suck.
Yes, that's what she wrote.
Cool.
So a lot of people ask, like when I paint dressers, or in this case, I'm painting the drawers back here. Can everyone see that? Maybe we should move the camera up a little, Danielle, so people can get a better look. But when I paint a dresser, I don't take the drawers out most of the time because I'm blending and I want a cohesive look across the whole front of the drawer, of the dresser or the cabinets or whatever it is I'm working on. And our paint is so different than most paints because it's clay based that you're not going to have the drawers sticking. It's really easy, especially when you're watering it down. Our paint is so pigmented that you can water it down 10 to 1 and still get amazing coverage. So when I go to pull out the drawers, they're not going to stick, and it's just a matter of just stressing around the edges a little bit if I want to. But I want to have a cohesive look across all 4 locker drawers, so that's why I'm not pulling them out. And if you are just lazy and you don't want to pull it out, that's a good excuse.
Yeah,
Not to
that's
do
my
that.
excuse.
I like the no sticking thing because
Yeah.
you don't have paint in between.
Yeah. So that is what I am doing.
So I'm really saturating this top here, just like Debbie said. I really want that paint to just become one with the fabric. So I've watered down my paint as well, and I'm really saturating the chair.
Awesome.
You know what I really like about that is that the texture is still coming through on fabric. You can still
Yeah,
visually
I know.
see it.
Okay, our 14-year-old Abrian is asking how quick does the paint dry?
Really fast.
Really fast depending on the temperature you're in, the thickness of paint, the layer that you've put on. There's so many things that will affect the dry time. But the great thing about our paint is that you can see I painted this whole top right here. And this paint is going to dry a little bit lighter. So you're going to know when it's dry and when you're able to apply another coat of paint. So can you see on the edges it's drier than in the center? That is already dried, and you just saw me. I just painted it like 5 minutes ago. So
Okay, so what about if you're in like a really humid area? Does that affect it?
well, humid, it's a little wetter. I think that it does just slightly. Dryness is really the key. That's what you want, to dry out the paint. But it's pretty humid here today, and you saw how fast it just dried.
Yeah.
And I always like to tell my students that the thinner the coats that you put on, the better, because it does leave a texture because of the clay. So you don't want it to be thick on one side, thin on the other side.
Sometimes you want that uneven texture though. Sometimes I want it to look like it's been painted 100 times. Some areas are really thick, and some areas are almost all the paint is washed off. So doesn't it kind of depend on?
It
the
depends
look?
on the look that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Okay, Elizabeth Anderson is asking if you can also paint on leather.
You know,
I say yes.
I say yes.
that's a question that I get a lot. People say, can I paint on microfiber? Can I paint on leather? Can I paint on corduroy? Can I paint on velvet? Like this is a really, like it almost feels like a really gross, crunchy wool sweater. Not that wool is gross, but right now when it's really hot, like wool just gives me the EBGBs. So my answer is always the same. So when I painted the sofa, it was this beautiful velvet, and I didn't know if I could do it. I had never done it before. So there was a skirt that I knew I was gonna rip off anyway. So I ripped off the skirt and I cut it up into pieces, and I used it as my experimental fabric. And that's what I would suggest you do because I've never painted on leather. There are people who have, like cowboy boots have been painted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And other people
I
have.
painted a leather
But
chair.
if you have a piece of scrap leather or maybe an old belt or something, I know the craft store sells random pieces of leather. Ooh, that was a big bee.
Oh, I'm going to show you.
I would experiment on that first. Or if there's, just go to the fabric store and get a remnant of something that's similar to something you want to try because all the fabrics are going to react differently. And the color is going to change according to the original fabric and the paint color that you choose. So my bohemian blue couch looks a little bit different because there was gold underneath, so it has more of an emerald green look to it than how bohemian blue looks normally. So that's my answer. I think so, but I would try it first on a scrap.
Scrap.
Yeah, here's a leather cuff that we sell in the store, just plain. And we actually stamped it with the paint, but I took the edges, I took some sandpaper and I sanded off the front edges. And you can see some parts inside too. And I just watered the paint down and went over the edge and it totally accepted it there. And here's what the paint looks like riding on top of the leather. And this is a distressed stamp already.
Okay, I'm gonna let this
So if
dry.
people want to buy paint, they go to DIYpaint.co, right?
Yeah, if you want to buy DIY paint, we'll put the link down below, but you go to DIYpaint.co. There's a place called Find a Retailer Near You. You put in your zip code and it will show you your closest retailers. Like you can put in 20-mile radius, 50-mile radius, and find all the people near you. If you don't have someone nearby, you can also order on our website. Hey man, you're getting water on me.
I
Feels
thought
good.
I might, so I was trying to get out of your
Feels
way.
Okay, well, there's a lot of comments. Jamie Ray started a comment about how you always paint in a dress and you don't like to paint next to her because she flings paint.
Yeah,
I'm doing my best. I'm really trying to be careful.
Jamie does sling a lot of paint.
Yeah.
I'm going, by the way, Jamie Ray is opening her own store and I'm flying out to Utah on, what day is it, Jamie? I think it's the 26th of October. So I'm flying out there for the weekend to be at Jamie Ray's grand opening. So
That's so
come,
exciting.
come
Congratulations.
support our girl Jamie and Zeb because they just bought a house and now they have a new store and if you want to support a hardworking family,
October 26th.
they have a lot of expenses, I would imagine, with that house. Have you seen their house on their YouTube channel? It's if you don't follow Zeb and Jamie, it's Jamie Ray Vintage. They have 5 kids. They are redoing a house. Like when I saw did you guys see the episode where they had the inspector come through the house?
No.
Like it was so bad. Like everything was a fire hazard. So many things needed to be redone. Like all the comments were like, run from that house. Do not buy that house. And I'm just like, oh my God, are they gonna buy it? And they did. They're brave. And so they're redoing their whole house on their channel. And now they're opening a store. And I want to go out there and support them. I love Jamie. I love Zeb.
They're so inspiring.
Yeah, so come meet us on October 26th. Go to JamieRayVintage.com. I'm sure she'll have information. Jamie, if you don't have it up, you should probably put that up now because I just talked about it. So
Yeah,
any other?
they're a really good team.
Yeah.
They are together.
They are.
They're so inspiring for especially married couples out there and what they can actually do together, that they live together, they raise their children together, they work together.
They like each other.
They
too.
do like each other. That's rare.
That is.
Okay, so now I'm gonna put dark and decrepit on these wood shelves. They're all dirty and gross, so I'm gonna spray it down with some water. And I'm gonna work the dark and decrepit into the shelves. Because there's like water stains here and dirt and cobwebs. And usually I just really love to paint over all of the dirt and the cobwebs because it gives it some texture. What about you guys?
Depends on what I'm going for, but yes, I do that often as well.
So yeah, let's just get real about what we do.
If you don't want to paint over all the dirt and cobwebs, all you have to do for the DIY paint is just clean it with soap and water, or I have a water bottle over here that I have a little bit of vinegar in and water, and you just give it a nice wipe down and you're good to go. No sanding necessary.
It is pretty gross though, so I am gonna give it a little bit of a wipe down.
Do you want some of my vinegar water?
You have vinegar water?
I do.
What does the vinegar do?
It just helps break down all that grossness.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm
It
really
cuts the
trying hard not
stickiness.
to get Debbie dirty. I'm working with very
That's a different chef.
I'm
Did
working
you use a sanding block?
not yet, because I have to wait till this completely dries. Right, Debbie? To use the
No,
sanding
you
block?
work
Oh,
it in.
I go while
So
it's
you
wet.
use let me show this.
Yes.
So this right here, there's a difference between I'm gonna squeeze through all this stuff.
I think I gotta move back.
See this right here? This is a sanding sponge, which is different than a sanding block. A sanding block is a hard block with sandpaper wrapped around the edge, in case you didn't know. This is actually a sponge inside. So see, you can squish it and you can fill it up with water. So it's got sandpaper on the edge, but so it's a sponge sandpaper combination. And this enables you to work all of the paint into the fibers of the fabric. Where did they go? They just left me. So anyway, when Stephanie gets back, we got a super chat?
You got another super
Who is it
chat. Jen Dune, $4.99. Thanks for motivating me to paint on my day off. Corporate job was dragging, but your energy came through to get me going.
Jen, you are so
Yay.
welcome.
Did we get a super chat?
We did from
Woohoo!
Jen Dune. She
No
said
way.
we're motivating her to work.
Yay!
And her corporate job is getting her down, and so she's motivated to have some fun.
That's so
We are
exciting!
so excited! Yay! I hope
I'm
you
so
have the best
happy
time.
that we could do that for you. That's just awesome.
Okay, so Stephanie, you want to get this soaking wet.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to drench this, and then you're going to use this to work all of the paint into the fibers so it doesn't sit on top.
All right.
So that's what you're going to do next.
Next step.
Okay. So I'm going to wipe off the vinegar. And now I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put dark vinegar.
Can't hear you.
Melissa, what do you mean?
Your people can't hear you. It's a helicopter. It's underdog.
Do you have dark and decrepit?
Out here.
Yeah.
Did you say we do?
Oh, I don't know if we have it out here, but we have it.
Okay, so can they see what you're doing? Maybe give them a closer look.
All right. Let's see if I can do this without getting you all dirty. So, that so far is what it looks like.
And she got this nice and wet, so you're gonna work it in. You're just gonna use it to just make sure all the paint sinks down in. Ooh, look at your hands.
Nice. Actually, that's
So, Stephanie, should you be wearing gloves?
no.
Why
I
not?
never even wore gloves as a hairstylist. I'm used to having dirty hands.
But isn't the paint gonna like stain your hands?
No,
or
not
be
at all.
really
It washes off
toxic?
really easy, and it's not toxic because there's no toxic chemicals in it.
Oh, like washing off clay. Melissa, do you ever wear gloves?
You know, not very often. Every once in a while I will. It,
Can everyone see us there? Any questions, Danielle?
Not yet. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is the shelves back there, they have water rings on it, there's stains on it. You can't really see, I'll try and tilt it forward. So I'm gonna add this. This is called Dark and Decrepit, and it dries really, really fast. So I always have, like, as soon as I wipe on the Dark and Decrepit, I have a wet rag in my hand, like, ready to go, so that I can wipe off the excess, because I still want to see all the wood grain, and I just want a very light hint of the Dark and Decrepit. A lot of times you can use this in the crevices to make it look aged and dirty, but it dries fast. So if you don't have a wet rag in your hand, it's gonna dry on there and it's gonna not look how you want it to look. So you wanna make sure that you have a wet rag so you can immediately wipe it back.
Tammy Beamies wants to know where she can buy the cuff that you have on your wrist.
My friend sells them on Etsy, and I need to post the link. I need to go find her because I can't remember her name. She's in Northern California, but
She's in Oregon now, and
Oh, what's her? What? Oh, you know her.
yeah, Robin McKiernan, and she is Vintage Beach House, and you can buy them on Etsy.
Vintage Beach House. Okay.
Debbie, Tanya R is asking why you use a sanding sponge.
Oh, Stephanie, you want to say
Yes.
that again?
So we're using the sanding sponge so that we can work all of that paint into the fabric so it becomes one with the fabric. So that's just an easier way or an additional way to get it to really sink in and become part of the fabric, which really helps it to not dry hard and crunchy.
Yeah, it gets it.
Super chat! Woo!
Super chat!
Another super
Thank you.
chat.
Thank you guys so much.
Jacqueline Herrera, $5. She says, I love what you are up to. I wish I could be there painting up a storm.
Oh,
Thank you, Jacqueline.
So, Melissa, what if someone does want to come paint with us? How would that work?
What's the question?
Melissa, if someone wanted to come here and paint with us, like how would that, could that even be a possibility? How would that happen?
It could. We generally have classes that are posted on the DIYpaint.co website, and you can find it under classes. You can also put your zip code underneath or in on Facebook
And Facebook
and Facebook
events.
events. So you can put your zip code in. You don't necessarily have to find a class that's here with us. You can also find one in your own area at another DIY retailer near you. But if you did want to come and paint with us, you can find it under classes, or we actually do a few personal classes. If you just want to come in, you say, I have this day available. Can I come in on this day and paint with you? And of course, there's a fee. You have to buy your own paint. You need to let us know ahead of time that this is what you want to be doing that day. And then we can totally set that up for you.
So if I like wanted to gather like 3 or 4 girlfriends and come in and like maybe bring some snacks and just have a paint party with my friends, you would like arrange a whole area and like.
You totally can.
That
That's
is
the
so
fun
cool.
part about our store is that we really love what we do. We love creating. We love teaching people how to do things and using our product and how our product is a little bit different from other people's, because it can go from fabric to glass, masonry, wood, furniture, walls. I mean, we like span the whole medium
Do you
kind
have
of.
peanut butter sandwiches too?
You know, if you requested peanut butter sandwiches, we would make sure that if we didn't have a knife to spread them, we would at least have a paint stick for you.
Melissa is known for eating her peanut butter sandwiches with the paint sticks.
With the
putting
paint
it on
stick. It's like whatever is available.
Melissa, what color red are you using from the DIY paint?
Okay, it's backwards, but I'm using Carnival Red. It's one of our truer reds. So it's going to be amazing. If you looked at it when it was wet, that's going to be its true color after we're done. Because we need to put a sealer over a chalk paint, whether it's wax or a patina or a big top.
Where's the talking?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah, they're
Did
asking
you?
what happened to the talking stick.
Oh, it's right here. Okay, Melissa, I have a question. Did you see that I posted that picture of the red dresser on my Facebook page from Rustic Penny and how she painted that dresser red with the dark and decrepit? Did you see that?
No,
You
I
guys.
saw it. It's
Oh my
beautiful.
God, it was so good. She used our red, and right now it looks kind of flat and chalky, but then she went over it with dark and decrepit. It's the
Only
most-
dark and decrepit?
She
No patina, clear patina?
I don't know
before?
exactly how she did it, but it's the Rustic Penny on Facebook and on Instagram. It is so beautiful. It looks like a deep red stain. Like, it looks so good. It looks more like a
Yeah.
stain, and it's just super delicious.
There's a
And-
question.
What?
Dawn Newsom wants to know what dark and decrepit is.
Dark and decrepit is this. I'm using it right now,
It
Dawn.
doesn't sound as bad and evil as it really
Oh,
is.
I love the name of it because it does. It makes things rich and delicious looking. It looks like chocolate syrup. It's water based,
Don't
and I'm
taste
using
it.
You can use it as a stain on raw wood. You can put it over a color like this and just give it depth and richness. And
Yeah.
it's really, really good. So I'm using it right now.
And if you only want it to look a little aged, you need to buy the clear patina first because it does need something that it can glide over because our chalk is so porous, our paint. It's gonna just like suck it in, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be dark like
It's
Debbie's
powerful.
hair.
It's powerful.
So it is.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff, but it is powerful. So if you only want it like in the crevices and around the edges, then you want to put the patina on first, which it's the same thing. It has the consistency kind of as Mod Podge, but it goes up and beyond what Mod Podge can actually do for you. So you can use it, you know, to do your decoupage or paint transfer, not paint transfers, picture transfers onto wood. So it's really, really cool stuff.
Can they
And
see
2
me
coats of
wiping
it
it off?
is a sealer in itself.
You're a little high. We can move the camera.
Melissa, the real housewife wants to know what that plastic thing is that you have the paint in.
Okay, my plastic thing is, these we use for classroom painting. So it's actually our paint poured into, they're called FIFO bottles. It stands for first in, first out. So you're always using the paint or mayo or ketchup or whatever, the older stuff first, and the new stuff goes in the bottom.
I
So
always thought it was feed, fi, fo, fum. What's the rest of that?
yeah, but no giants here.
Okay.
Like hugeness, like Stephanie likes to refer to Dion.
Dion is huge, not huge like in her, you know, body, but she's huge in her presence and her talents.
Okay, so I just had an idea.
Melissa, move your chair back a little. So they
I
can
so I
see you.
painted those drawers back there, and I'm thinking that it might be kind of cool to go over it with the dark and decrepit and just give it that rich beat up. Like sometimes I like things to look like it was super dark wood underneath and it got all beat up, and then you put paint over it and maybe some stain over it. So do you guys, what do you think about me
I
doing
agree,
that?
and you know what I love about your idea right now? That it wasn't your original idea, and just when you like start working on things, how things manifest into something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they
is a
like
lot.
totally more.
Yes, I love it.
Does that happen to you guys too?
It does. It happens
Yeah.
to me often.
Yeah, you gotta go with the flow. Like
You gotta go with it. Your piece of furniture is actually gonna start speaking to you after you start it. You're gonna say, oh, I want it this way and perfect and pristine, and then your piece of furniture is gonna go, oh no, that's really not what you want. Look at this spot over here. Wouldn't it look awesome if just a little bit was rubbed off? You guys are
No,
talking over me, and neither of you have the talking stick, and I have the paintbrush speaking
all right, Simon.
truth stick. So, anyway, that's the fact. You have to follow what it's telling you to do.
All right, I want to show this. You guys, Debbie got a little crazy over here. She flung some paint
Sorry.
onto my mirror thing, and I don't want to paint it this color.
What are you gonna do?
So I'm gonna show you how easy it is to get that right off. If that was latex paint, I'd be kind of screwed.
It's dried.
It's
perfectly
it is.
dried. What
It
are you
is
gonna
dry.
do?
So let me show you. Super chat!
Mary D 55 donated $5.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mary.
Whoa, Mary, you're awesome.
We love you, Mary. how much money do we have for lunch?
I'm gonna get.
Whoa! Wait, guess what?
Hey, I'm talking. I don't have the stick.
Here.
Oh, she has the talking sprayer.
All right, I'm getting my rag wet, just a little damp, and all I'm gonna do.
Jamie Ray says Zeb and I need the talking stick.
I'm just gonna
We can
wipe
make
it.
you one.
Wipe it
We're
clean.
gonna make talking sticks and
I
start
can't really
selling them on our channel.
See what I'm doing? Because I'm trying to show you, but look, it's just coming right off. Again, if that was latex or acrylic paint, well, acrylic, I don't know. I might be able to scratch it off, but look. It's gone.
Oh my gosh, that's
It's gone?
cray-cray.
It's
That's
gone.
like magic.
Because you reactivated the paint.
Reactivated the paint. It's a clay-based chalk paint.
You know what? I wish that.
That's why we seal the paint.
You know what would be so cool? You know how you can just reactivate the paint and erase it just like Stephanie did? What if you could eat a cookie? And then when you're done, you're like, I wish I didn't eat that. I'll just like,
Oh my god, I
I'll
need
just
that
like
in my
eat
life.
a vanilla cookie.
you could reactivate the cookie with the paint. Like you could take a spoonful of paint and it would go
That
down
would
and just
change my life.
like obliterate the cookie. We need to
That's
come up with a
disgusting.
product.
I absolutely am obsessed with chocolate chip cookies. And in fact, yes. Anyhow, I know how unhealthy it is to eat that much sugar. And I used to have one every single day and I've been trying really hard not to. So that would change my life.
I think it would change mine too. You know what I would probably do is I would probably just eat more cookies because I
It
would
would
know
make
that I
more
could
sense
get
to drink a glass of water.
Yeah.
Probably tastes better.
Okay, so
Whoa, I just sucked all the fun out of your paint teaspoon. Cookie erasing.
Melissa, do you know who's going to show up here later today?
Bobby?
Maybe, but you know who else is going to come here today?
I want to know.
Somebody, FedEx, delivering our new t-shirts.
That too. Someone else is coming here today.
Dad!
No, but he's coming later. Mara from Vintage Retail.
Mara's
Therapy.
coming?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she feels good enough to travel out here and see us?
She does.
She totally gonna craft with us today?
So Mara, you know who Mara is, Stephanie?
I've never met Mara. No.
She's one of our retailers in Fallbrook, California. She also teaches classes. And she texted me last night. She's like, hey, Debbie, can I come out and see you guys? And she's going to be here at the class on September 8th. And anyone who comes to the class, you can bring, it's called BYOD, bring your own denim. So you can bring a pair of jeans or a jacket or anything denim. And Mara is going to show you how to use DIY paint with the stamps. Like she made these jeans with like a growing flower vine. Did you guys see that?
No.
It was growing up the jeans and so cute with little birds and branches. And she's coming today, so we're gonna powwow and we'll probably take all the super chat money and order some food and eat. And I'm gonna feed you guys with the super chat money.
Wait, you're feeding us today?
And yeah, so if you are near Fallbrook, go see Mara because her shop is amazing too.
It is, and she's funny. She also has a Facebook channel that she teaches on, and she's so good. She has it down where she can actually work by herself and hold a conversation and answer your questions. That always impresses me.
That's hard. It's hard to paint and talk at the same time.
I agree.
So Stephanie,
Yes.
this one's for you. Hineni John 3:16 was concerned that because you took that paint off so easy, will it just run like crazy if you spill a glass of water on things, or?
No, so the important thing to do after you paint your piece is you want to put a top coat on it, a sealer. So we have 3 different sealers that we use. We have a wax sealer, we have a liquid patina, and then we have what we call big top, which is going to be like your most durable sealer. So for your more high traffic pieces, dining room tables, things like that, you can put a glass of water, anything like that on top of, and it won't run. But if you don't seal it, then yes, you do have that possibility. Ooh, big bug. So yeah, the important thing to do if you don't want to have any come off or to see anything running, you want to seal it. There is a big bug over here. Also, we don't technically have an exterior base sealer, so you want to grab something. If you're going to put your piece outside with this paint, you're going to want to grab something that is exterior safe. So what do you recommend, Melissa?
I would go in. Varathane always makes a good exterior sealer. You
A
want to make
Varathane.
sure it's clear, and if it's outside, sometimes even a UV protectant in it, which they do have now, is great. Not that our paint is going to fade at all. It's just, it actually helps with
Yeah.
the hardness of the top coat that you're putting on.
Why don't we have an exterior based sealer?
Because we haven't developed that yet.
That's not the answer. Stephanie, do you know why
I don't know the answer, but I'd like to know. So
You guys don't know the answer?
tell us.
Why we don't have an exterior based sealer? The reason why we
Because
don't
it costs so much money.
I hope I answered that question, but let's find out why we don't have an exterior base sealer.
I think our talking stick needs a little color.
I agree.
Maybe we should sell talking
Question. We have a
sticks.
question.
I do like that idea.
So we have a question that was overlooked. FE924 is asking, what is the consistency of the paint for each project? I'm not sure what that question is specifically.
The consistency, or you want to know like how many cubic square feet is it going to cover?
Typically, a quart covers 150 square feet. It's very pigmented. You can go a long way, but it depends on the application. Like,
So I'm
I'll
watering
tell
mine
you.
way down for this application. I guess it depends on your project.
Last week, Stephanie and I were painting a piece. We had this much paint left in our quart-size can, and they were two considerably large buffet-style pieces of furniture. We ran out of paint at the very end. We just needed to touch up some of the inside of this cabinet with the glass doors, and it had glass doors, so of course we had to paint it
Yeah.
and make it look pretty.
Actually, the client decided at the last minute that she wanted the back painted too. So
Right.
we needed even more paint.
The back like sent us over the edge. So what we did was we added water into the tiniest bit of layer of paint. It ended up
We had
covering
full coverage.
all of it, full coverage with water. So we did probably half and half water, half paint,
Yeah.
and we had enough. It was an amazing godlike thing.
do you want to hear a
But
story?
here-
Wait, no. I want to hear the answer to to the question. Why don't we have an exterior
Okay.
base sealer?
Yes.
Okay, first let me tell you this before we get answer to that question. The paint, because it has clay in it, sometimes you get like toward the end of it, you get the chunky buildup around the edge, you know, and
Yeah.
it like hardens and it's like chunks of
I love
clay.
that. That's actually
Yeah.
really good.
So one time I was like down, I was scraping the can and I needed to cover just like a little bit more and I didn't have any paint and I wasn't anywhere near the store where I could get more paint. Do you want to know what I did?
you watered it down.
What?
No,
Oh, what
because
did
it was all dry, hard as a rock.
Oh.
I took all the chunks and I chipped them off the edge and then I put them in a coffee grinder and I made powder out of it.
And then you added water.
And
then I
then
added water,
you made coffee in the
reactivated-
same coffee
That's
grinder?
amazing.
And it worked.
Wow, I
So
love that.
if you have chunks, you can totally DIY the paint again. You can bring it back to life.
You guys, this paint is
DIY goes on and
just
on with
the
our brand.
best paint on the planet.
It is.
The holy grail.
Totally is.
The holy grail.
The reason we do
Yes.
not have an exterior sealer is because DIY just has, if you look on the back of every can, there's only 9 ingredients. It's extremely non-toxic. You don't have to worry about your kids or your pets.
My kid eats it.
You
I
can,
mean, not
you can put
on
your
purpose.
nose right up to it. There's no hazmat warning on it. It's not flammable. We try and make the most.
I gotta tell you, I took it on an airplane, and you know when they see that you have paint or something, they have that little machine thing that they put your contents in, like even if you're walking through the gate and they check to see if anything, any food or whatever you're bringing on has any kind of chemical, explosive, whatever, flammable stuff in it. It totally passed. They opened the box that I put it in, but when they put it in the tester, they detected nothing. Nothing.
Because it's clean and it's good. And so every product that DIY makes is as clean and non-toxic, non-invasive as it can be. Not that there isn't a space for products that have chemicals in them. We definitely need those, but that's not fitting with our brand. So we have not been able to make a
See,
it's hard to
Mara,
talk and paint at the same time.
we are so impressed
We have not
by
been
you.
able to come up with a formula that will truly withstand like snow and weather and all
Yeah.
of that for outside. So
We
that's
don't want to put
why.
our name on that.
Yeah, so that's
Or
why
Debbie's
we don't
name.
have an exterior sealer, but there are some good ones that you can find at the hardware.
You're not just
We just got a spam call.
Did I just put some mermaid tail eyeshadow on my face?
No, but that would look good. So that's why. But there are some good ones. I like the Zinsser shellac. I like what is the one? The water-based Varathane. That's good for outside. There's a lot of really good products.
Yeah.
It's not within our mission. So
Right.
I use those products for myself personally, but I don't want them as part of the line.
And we definitely use water-based when we buy exterior sealer.
Yeah.
We just don't want any other chemical problem. There's so much chemicals out there in our environment already that we don't want you to be close to it when you're using ours.
Yeah, so we want you to know that if it's DIY, then it's as clean as it can possibly be. Okay,
We're at 11:30.
Here, I dyed it.
are we?
Okay.
Oh, I'm just going to wet distress. I'm just going to show you this really fast. Here's
Are
my
we at
rocker.
11:30?
Here's my wet.
Okay, you guys, so we've come to the...
Melissa show the distressing.
I also want to show them putting dark and decrepit on here. So
I have
Go a
to-
little over.
Okay.
Okay, here's what I did. You saw how much pressure I put on here? All I'm doing is wiping it, almost like you're just dusting or polishing your piece of furniture. And there's how it distresses. Is that a clear picture? Can you see the edge of the wood coming through? We're gonna have to show you next time.
Okay, so before we go, I'm going to take this dark and decrepit and I'm going to wipe it over the locker drawers that I painted back there so you can get a good sense of it. We're going to take a bunch of pictures and post them to our Facebook page, and we're going to put them in the community tab. So if you want a closer look, stay tuned, because later today, Stephanie and Melissa, they go live twice a week on our Facebook page and they'll give you updates to our projects. But if you want to watch me do that, or come back, because we're here every Friday at 10:30 and we'll give you the updates on what we've been working on. So I've got my wet rag, I've got my dark and decrepit. I'm going to dunk it in the dark and decrepit and swish it across the front of the drawers, and then I'm going to wipe back the excess, and I'll post a close-up picture later today.
Let's watch you do that for a minute.
And don't forget, all these pieces of furniture are on sale in the store. It's DIY headquarters.
Yeah. So is there anything else we should say before we go? So see how that's just kind of adding dimension to the look?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go back with a cleaner rag and wipe off.
I like it.
It's activating some of the paint, so some of the yellow is coming through.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good, right?
Okay, we have a few last minute questions before we go.
Okay.
Karen Roussel is asking, which Facebook page do you guys, is it the DIY paint page or the...
Debbie's Design Diary. That's where we go live twice a week, Melissa and I, and sometimes Julie from the store, to show you what we're doing.
Yeah.
And what about Instagram? They want to know Melissa's Instagram and anywhere else you guys are.
So we need to post
My
that in the-
Instagram is also Missy Paints the World. It's also on Facebook as Missy Paints the World.
And we'll put it in the description box. Okay, so, and then see how I painted the edge where the paint shouldn't be? I can just, with a wet rag, I can get that mostly off or all the way off. I kind of like a little bit of it there.
Same with me. I mean, I have the arms of the chair and the legs of the chair that I don't want painted the dark gray color that I'm doing the fabric. I'm not worrying about getting it on there right now because I could just wipe it off before I seal, or before I put the color I truly want on, and then seal it from there.
So I think that's it. Danielle, do you want to come over so they can see you? They've heard your voice all day. But they
Yeah, Danielle.
my little sister, she's super cute.
She keeps us all in line. She does
does.
everything.
So I read your comments here, and I apologize if I missed any or I was late on any, or if you got frustrated that I might have overlooked you, but
The chat goes by really fast.
it goes by
does.
fast, and I try to go back, but I'm reading right now. Let's see. Let's see. Why? Okay. So see how fast that goes.
I got to show you how to slow the chat down, but we try and go back and answer questions
Slow the
later
chat
too.
down.
So Danielle, the worksheets were due yesterday for our membership group. What
Yeah,
happened?
if you're a private member to the Debi's Design Diary membership group, sorry, we're late, about a day late.
What
but
happened?
It's not my fault.
The
I
dog
had it
ate
all
it.
ready. I had it
The
all
dog.
ready. Everything was ready on my end, but she got busy, so she's gonna finish that later today, and hopefully you'll get your download. But
Tonight.
maybe-
Yeah. So I think we should
When?
end
Tonight?
this. Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight. The worksheets will be up tonight. If you would like to be part of my membership group, we have all kinds of awesome things going on. You just click the join button. It's $5 a month. You can cancel at any time. But
Such a
we're
steal.
basically creating a workbook together to unlock your creativity. We go live privately and answer your questions one-on-one. And the workbook is amazing. So I think we should end this with the tap dance routine again.
Oh.
Right? So
Okay.
how do you do it?
It's
Okay.
a kick,
Shuffle,
ball change.
full
Or
step.
shuffle. Shuffle.
Shuffle, ball, step.
You can't see our feet, but we're shuffling.
Okay, thanks everyone for watching. How do you make it go away? I don't know how to do it. Remember last week we had trouble too? Whoa, whoa.
There we go.
I hope I didn't break the phone. Doesn't look like
You should
it.
have a really good case on that.
You're still right.
Yeah, it says rotate device. What do you, there, is that it?
Why didn't
Are
our
you
A